The Saints march into Foxborough to face off against the Patriots. With both teams hungry for a win, will New Orleans light up the scoreboard and shut down Bill Belichick's squad? Saints fans, grab your black and gold gear. It's game time in enemy territory. Welcome into Saints Gameday, live here on NewOrleansSaints.com. I'm Erin Summers. John DeShazer will join us from Gillette Stadium shortly. The Saints need to get right on both sides of the ball as they take on the Patriots 12 o'clock on CBS. Defensively, it starts with affecting the quarterback. Quarterback Mac Jones has taken 7 sacks on the season. And the Saints defense, well, they've delivered 9. That brings us to our poll question of the day. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen. How many sacks do you think the Saints defense is going to get? Right now, the majority of you think that it is going to be 3+, and hey, I would love to see that. Before we get to more of our Saints news of the day, let's head to Gillette Stadium and check in with John DeShazer.
We're here at Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots are a struggling team right now. They're 1-3, coming off a 38-3 loss to the Dallas Cowboys, the worst loss ever under Coach Bill Belichick, who's going for his 300th win today. How will he get that 300th win? Well, it'll probably start with a better performance from quarterback Mac Jones. Mac Jones against Dallas was 12 of 21 for 150 yards, no touchdowns, and a couple of interceptions. So they need a better performance out of him. Now, he's only completing about 66% of his passes this year, passing for about 225 yards a game. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he's been sacked 7 times, so the Saints obviously want to get to quarterback Mac Jones. Patriots only rushing for 93.5 rushing yards per game, so they need something out of the run game if they want to be effective against the Saints defense. Also, the primary targets for Mac Jones, tight end Hunter Henry, 17 catches, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the receiver Kendrick Bourne, 16 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, defensively, the Patriots have some issues going on. 2 guys out. Their best 2 defenders will not be in this game. That's defensive end Matthew Judon, who has 4 sacks this season, and cornerback Christian Gonzalez, the rookie who is their best cover guy. To help cover for that, they signed cornerback J.C. Jackson. Now, J.C. Jackson struggled with the Chargers. However, 25 of his career 26 interceptions have come in his 4 years previously here with the Patriots, so he should fit right in with this defense, and he will be on the field today. And of course, we always have to talk about the kicking game, and the Patriots have struggled there also. Their kicker, Chad Ryland, 4 for 7 on field goals this year, 1 for 3 from 50 to 59 yards. So the Saints obviously want to force him into some long field goal attempts where he has had little success this season. Now that's it from here at Gillette Stadium. Erin, back to you.
Thanks, John. We'll check in with you after this game is over in our Saints post-game show. For the Saints offensively, they know that they have to get the ball in the end zone. So far this season, they are 4 of 12 in the red zone. It's an area that they've been focused on all week. Head coach Dennis Allen said it starts with playing fast, making quick decisions, and being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. That's not the only place they need to make sure that they're executing. Against the Patriots defense, it's always a difficult challenge because Bill Belichick, he's opponent scheme specific. They change what they do each week dependent on who they're playing. It's going to be a challenge for the Saints, and offensively, they have to put together more consistent drives. They need to make sure that they're executing, they're putting together long drives and getting their way to the red zone and eventually the end zone. Offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael said a lot of it comes down to him, the play selection, and making sure they're getting the balls to their playmakers. Defensively, the Saints have talked about making the Patriots one-dimensional. They've had a really hard time all season getting their run game going. They're only averaging 93 rushing yards per game, and they do have really 2 good backs in Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott. They just haven't been able to produce. So the Saints want to make sure that continues this week. They want to stop the run, get into the backfield, and affect quarterback Mac Jones. Jones has struggled at times this season. When he's under pressure, he's thrown 4 interceptions. So the Saints need to be ready to capitalize on mistakes. As far as the Saints special teams go, I was able to catch up with a Saints kicker, Blake Grupe, in this week's What's Brewing, presented by Community Coffee. For a look at what's brewing on the Saints special team, let's check in with Blake now. Welcome to What's Brewing, presented by Community Coffee. I'm Erin Summers, here with kicker Blake Grupe. Blake, you've been in the NFL playing regular season games now for a month. What's the biggest thing that surprised you?
Just the support, all across the, whether it's family, whether it's teammates, whether it's the organization. Everything moves very fast, but when you have people on your side, you can get it done.
I feel like specialists have a little more time than other players do during practices and stuff. How do you fill that time?
Yeah, you put it to use. While the other guys are in meetings, we're in the training room working on our bodies and really just doing anything to get an edge and prepare you for that Sunday. So, don't waste that time.
The Saints locker room is mixed up a little bit. You sit next to punter Lou Hedley and running back Alvin Kamara. How are they as locker mates?
Yeah, great locker mates. Me and Lou came into this together. We just pretty much been working through everything kind of as a little pair. So that's nice to be able to come into the league with somebody that figured it all out. And then to have Alvin next to you, you see, what it's like to be at the top. He's got some good fashion, and he's a good guy. I got obviously pretty diverse, and got Zach across the way. So, good locker room, good guys to be around.
As somebody that comes from same type of beginnings that you did, and linebacker Demario Davis also played at Arkansas State. How much did you know about him before you got to the team?
Yeah, I knew a lot about him. He's obviously very big into his faith, and he shared his testimony with us many times. I've heard it 2 or 3 times. He talked to us in person. I heard it over Zoom, and I knew a lot about him. I'd heard from him many times. I actually met him, and then it's kind of funny to now be here with him, and so. You obviously had some connections coming into it, so that was nice.
You said earlier this year that you played at Notre Dame, you played in big atmospheres, but how does an NFL atmosphere in the Superdome compare?
Yeah, that's kind of why I transferred last year, was to expose myself to those big atmospheres. And, come to the Superdome, they get loud. That's, we have very passionate fans, they take pride in that. And, the move them chains and all of that. So, it's a great atmosphere. We get to play some Monday night games and, be around it. So, I've felt prepared for it, but it's obviously pretty nice to be able to soak it all up.
All right, well, good luck this weekend in Foxborough against the Patriots. Thanks so much for joining us for What's Brewing. Appreciate Blake taking the time for that feature. And running back Alvin Kamara, I think, said it best this week. While he loves his locker mate in Blake Grupe, he would prefer 6 points over 3. No offense, Blake, but I kind of agree. Earlier this week, John DeShazer was able to catch up with head coach Dennis Allen and get his thoughts on today's matchup.
Coach, I think Derek Carr said this week you did a phenomenal job of leading the team in that you reminded them what the record is. They're only 1 game back in the division, and also reminded them, we have the people and the personnel to get to where we want to be. What was the temperament like and the confidence in practice this week?
Yeah, I thought we had a good week of practice. And yet I think we've had good weeks of practice, but I think there was an intense, focus in terms of what we're doing out there on the practice field. So, where we're at in the season right now, it's a 17-game season, so nothing's been determined as of this point, and so really what we have to do is just play, a better brand of football, and I feel confident our guys are going to go out there and do that.
New England's had struggles of its own. What have you seen from the offense and quarterback Mac Jones?
Yeah, look, I think there's some similarities between the two teams. I think offensively, when you watch the tape and you're just watching it, you see them executing and performing at a high level, and then yet there'll be a play or two where they have a breakdown and it causes a negative play, and here they are behind the sticks, and it makes it challenging. So that's kind of what I've seen out of them. A very similar team to us, and I think the team that goes out here and makes the fewest amount of mistakes is the team that's going to win.
Now, defensively, Derek said he expects to be mentally exhausted on Sunday night. What have you seen from that defense?
Well, they're a big physical team. They're very well coached. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They make you earn everything you get. They don't give up a lot of explosive plays, so there's a lot of opportunities underneath in coverage that we're going to have to be able to get the ball to the check down, get the ball upfield and advance it that way, and then take advantage of the opportunities that you do have down the field. When you have those opportunities, they're kind of few and far between against this team, but yet when they present themselves, we've got to be able to take advantage of it.
It looks like cornerback Paulson Adebo and guard Cesar Ruiz might be back on the field. How much does it help, I guess, just to get guys back into their routine positions and helping the offense and defense?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it's part of the NFL. You have to deal with injuries, and so other guys have to be able to step up in those instances. And yet, there are starting players for a reason. And so to be able to get guys like that back, I think, presents some confidence to both units.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Heading into today's game, we already knew there were a few Saints players who would be out in tight end Jawan Johnson, defensive back Lonnie Johnson Jr., and we have a few others that have been added to the list. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's inactives presented by Louisiana Cat. If you take a look at that list, you will notice that cornerback Paulson Adebo isn't on it. He is going to be back for today's game, which is going to be huge. He'll line up opposite Marshawn Lattimore. Lante Taylor will play nickel. It'll be good to have their starters back in the game against the Patriots. Also on the list, which means we will have a little less depth on the offensive line this week, is guard Andrus Peat and offensive lineman Landon Young. Pete is still not out of concussion protocol, and Landon Young got hurt at practice this week. So something to watch throughout the game is how the offensive line is able to hold up. We know that the Saints fans love to travel, and they're gearing up for this one. So let's head to New England and check out the Black and Gold roll call presented by Bud Light.
So my name is Andrew. I come from Montreal. My game prediction is 24-21 for the Saints. Go Saints!
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Ken. And we are from Sea Island, Georgia. Here to see our Saints win today, victory over the Patriots.
Definite win here. We'll see some improvement from the last few games, and hopefully it's a good game today. It's going to be a great day, so we'll have a great day here and leave victorious.
From Alberta, Pennsylvania. Go Saints, baby. Prediction, I say Saints by 2.
My name is Danielle Como from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I predict that the Saints is going to win. Go Saints!
My name is Alex. I'm from here in New England. My game prediction, say 28-3. Go Saints.
I'm from the 7th Ward, New Orleans. My game predictions is 24-10, the Saints. Offense gets the ball moving. Derek Carr gets it going. We get some protection. Michael Thomas in the end zone. First touchdown.
It's always so much fun to see all the fans out there in their black and gold repping the Saints. We are wrapping up our countdown to kickoff presented by Little Caesars and really excited for this matchup at 12 o'clock on CBS. We'll be right back here after the game on our Saints post-game show, NewOrleansSaints.com or at Saints on Twitter/X. Now we're going to check in with our poll. How many sacks do we think the Saints are going to have defensively? And right now, 50% of the votes are in for 3+ sacks, which again, I think would be fantastic. 40% of you think 2 sacks, 10% 1, and 0% think 0, which also is good because we need to have at least a couple, maybe 3. I think that would bode well for the Saints in this one. Definitely want to get back in the win column, get back over 500 with a victory over the Patriots. Thank you so much for joining me on the Saints pregame show. We'll be back after this one. Go Saints.